Welcome to the Diplomats or DBN or whoever broadcast this very important overview of the September October Nexus Speedboat Finals. We have a longtime DBN commentator, first time on the Diplomats as a commentator, but we are happy to have the greatest champion in Nexus Speedboat history here, Riaz Farani. Welcome.
Thank you, Ed. That's quite a compliment, and I appreciate it, but it's not necessarily true.
Well,
Uh,
you've
but
won
but
twice. I think we've had four finals. You've won twice. And just tell the people two things before you get so modest, which is one, what's the value of Speedboat in diplomacy? And two, if people want to play Speedboat, which are essentially 5 minute turns of diplomacy without negotiations, gunboat, how do they do so? How do they get on the Nexus server?
okay, well, let's start with the second one. The next server is always easy. Just ask anybody who's an admin, or a moderator. People like yourself, myself, Pez the Mayor. Anybody can send you the invite to the Nexus Discord server. You just get a little bit familiar with Discord, and the next server is well set up for anybody new coming out on site. Now, the value of Speedboat is it gets you thinking really quickly, and gets you processing turns really quickly, which is so valuable for face to face. And as you know, I mean, when we're playing face to face, we have 15 minutes, and in that time, you have maybe 1 or 2 minutes to process what really happened on the board before you start talking to everybody. And Speedboat does a great job of getting you focused as quickly as possible on what happened and what you need to do going forward.
So, our finalists have played a series of games over a 2 month period of time on the Nexus server, and I will say, top six made it, and then there was a wild card round for seventh. Because if you're counting the top seven, I should be in these finals, as I was seventh. I was a low man on the totem pole, but I didn't win the wild card round. That went to Pixie. But we have seven really good competitors. And Riaz, no offense, but this may be the you know most stacked board we've had so far in Speedboat finals.
Absolutely, it just keeps getting better and better. One of the things that I would suggest, Ed, is that I it's very difficult to be out there for the very first time in a speedboat final and win. I mean, I think maybe Eustachio might be the only one who was there the first time. I again, pardon my ignorance on the last set, but before that, you almost had to get to a finals the first time, experience it, and then the next time you came back and won it. So I would say, the individuals who've been there before and know what's going on and been through it have a significant advantage over those who are there the first time.
I agree with that, and I think Pixie has won it in this group. And then we have Audacious Hand at Diplomat, Superstition at Diplomat, Karthik, who's commented on the Speedboat finals, Dave Smith, who's played a lot of Speedboat,
Yep.
Liam, new to the Speedboat league, but not new to diplomacy, and I don't actually I only know CBCBM by the name here. I know he's played a lot of Speedboat, but and done well, but I just don't know anything. I don't know him personally.
For sure, it's nice to see new faces and for us to be able to follow some of those new faces.
One of the things I would say also is if you're in the league, right? If you do this, you get to play multiple games, and so one bad game, two bad games, hell, even three or four bad games, you're not out of it. You have multiple chances to do well over a 2 month period of time.
Certainly, and I can attest to that. I've been through ones where the first set of games that I played, it was just disastrous, and I thought, what am I doing wrong? And then you actually end up winning the season. So, the first few games you play is no indication of what will happen throughout the season.
And the last thing I think to note to everybody is these are two games in which the players are totally anonymous to each other, and the best score over a 2 game period of time I think it's modified tribute scoring. You probably know better than I do. Will prevail. You only have to have two really good results. You can still prevail. Pixie won the last finals without achieving a board top. Anyways, I say we get right into it. Game one, spring 1901. Already, I see something interesting on the board.
Ooh, are you talking about what's going on out in the east, or are you talking about something out in the west?
I was looking, well, I was looking particularly at the West with the move from Munich to Silesia. You don't see that very often in any diplomacy game.
Yep, definitely. And you very rarely see Germany mess with Russia that early in Speedboat. The normal thing is, keep AI balanced while you're doing your thing in the West. But this is very interesting and very aggressive.
It's a signal, certainly to England, right, that Germany's going to bounce in Sweden. I would suspect, and put pressure on. So this is a curious move. Anything else that stand out to you on this set?
I would say probably Turkey moving the fleet out and ceding the Black Sea. I'm a big proponent of this personally. This is the way I play Turkey, so I like it, but not everybody does, and everybody has sort of very very differing views on that. And also the Italian move into Trieste and seeing what that means for the fleet in Ionian Sea. Are they going to get greedy and take two? Or are they going to use this to move into the Aegean Sea and set the tone?
So, very interesting points, which is I've noticed in Speedboat, Italians are greedier than they are in face to face. I fully expect a Trieste hold with an Ionian to Tunis or a convoy. And then on the Turkish point, it just sort of depends on my mood. When I'm pessimistic, I do this move. When I'm optimistic, I'll go to the black. So we'll
Yeah.
see how it plays out as we move to the fall of 1901. And oh my, look at this.
Uh, lots of bounces, lots of
Lots of
bounces,
lots of bounces.
and the support into Galicia is something very interesting. Well, I mean, the Turkish move is. I completely didn't notice that until just now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the headlines, at least for me, are Italy does take two, takes the convoy. The support into Galicia is sort of beautiful in a way, right? It's signaling this Austrian German cooperation. Presumably, Austria might now support into Warsaw. But I think the headline of the show is Armenia getting into Sevastopol.
I agree. I agree, and very very risky for Turkey typically to open the trade and really alienate their natural Russian partner, especially when they've vacated the Black Sea and given it over to Russia, and then they move into Sevastopol. That to me is a very very interesting move. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, so you're right. The question is what's going to come next, especially if AI don't hold off. But uh, it is sort of interesting by not moving to the black. There's a lot of signal of cooperation to Russia. It is a perfect trick, if you will, and keeping Russia to zero builds. Ooh, not great. So
Mm-hmm.
we should see how it plays out. Let's see. If you are Turkey here with your two, and you're in this scenario, what do you build?
Who's my friend here as Turkey? Like that's the thing, right? Is who am I identifying as my friend? Is my friend Italy? Is that who I'm targeting working with? Because if it is, I'm not building fleets. I'm building at least one army. Um, but I'd say you'd probably have to build at least one fleet to try to take the Black Sea if you are indeed anti-Russian here. What do you think?
Well, I don't think you can take the black with just one fleet and con, but I
No, you
think
got
you got to build
yeah,
an army and a fleet. I mean, I think
yeah.
Turkey is kind of out of the box, but it's a box that might not, uh, you know, make it very long. I don't know. The other big news I think is the convoy to Norway. This is just bad all around for for Russia.
Yeah.
Although I did like the French move of not viewing Brest as a potential target there, and instead going to Belgium. You see that a lot in Speedboat. You see the move to the
Yep.
channel as a prelude to Belgium.
Yep. Yep. You were England here, Ed. Would you when you see a weak Russia, would you really go after them?
I,
I don't.
no, I would not,
Yeah.
especially after moving to the channel. In my mind, England. I play pretty good England, but England, in my mind, can only fight one enemy at a time.
Yeah.
Uh,
As I've learned through the Nexus as well.
well, you took on three. You took on three. Riaz can fight two as England, but not three. I can only fight one at a time. All right, so we have the builds. Army in London, obviously a big signal to France, who doesn't get the news by building a fleet in Brest. And look at Turkey
Hmm.
going double fleet.
Yeah, I mean it's a very interesting move, but again, I guess it's safe because Russia's under attack from so many different powers. But I mean I don't know. I feel like I feel like you had to kind of if you're going to go this way, you kind of had to prioritize working with Italy. But then Italy just built two fleets, so who knows?
Well, the two fleet from Italy, I think, is very strange. This might be Turkey's godsend, right? Which is now the fleets can mix it up in the Mediterranean and Austria, as you have a dying down Russia. May see an opportunity to go against Italy here uh, because of the lack of armies. I also found that, well, no, I was going to make another point that was not going to be good. But the fleet in Berlin, also interesting, I think necessary, but I typically hate building in Berlin. I'm surprised Germany didn't take Holland now that I think about it. But there we go. I don't know what Germany's game is right now. Not signaling anti French, not signaling anything other than anti Russian.
Well, the default for me as Germany is when there's an army in Burgundy, I'm building in Munich. It's just a natural thing for me. So yeah, you're definitely right. It's very interesting, and I'm surprised he didn't go to Holland as well. He or she didn't go to Holland as well.
Right, yes. No, that is a strange one. I'm going to call Audacious Hand out for being Germany. I know he likes that opening, but I don't know for sure. I don't know at all, actually. Okay, here we go.
There we go. And this is the danger for Turkey attacking Russia early on is you know typically that you're going to have Austria and Italy coming after you right from the get-go, and part of that is nobody in the final should ever want Turkey to do well because you know Turkey's like the speedboat meta is set up so that Turkey gets destroyed. If you have a two-game final and Turkey does really well in the first game, they're not going to play Turkey again in the second game, so they're set up really really well in game two.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, Turkey decided to attack Austria here. Uh, it did not work, but instead of identifying Italy, which based on the pieces, I think would be a natural enemy that was fusing. I also note that Germany's not going to get Holland again, covering Munich
Yeah.
and taking Sweden, but it's not going to be that bad if Germany keeps Sweden and gets into Warsaw. I think maybe expecting Austrian support, but got in nevertheless because Russia was covering.
Is it me, Ed, or is this just looking really really great for England right
well, I don't know. We got a lot of French units. I think defining an army is England right now.
now? Hmm.
I, I'm sort of liking the Italian, Austrian or Italian players right now.
Yep, yep. But
Uh,
but France has to be wary of that fleet in the Tyrrhenian Sea, don't they? Because I mean, Italy only really needs two fleets in the east. So that third fleet, it's got to be. I mean, it's it's sitting right there on the western net in Gulf of Leon.
Yeah, well, correct. I mean, but on the same token, Italy's putting a lot of trust in Austria, which Austria just repaid
Yep.
by making the moving
Yep.
unit into Romania, Budapest, and not Galicia.
Yep.
But if I'm Austria right now, I need to see that Italian army out.
Yep. I agree. Move into Tiroli at the very least, don't you think?
Uh, well, I think that's the way you and I would play it. Whether or not
Yeah.
this Italy plays it, we don't know. Let's see in the fall as we wait for the internet to move its pieces. Oh, there we go. Look at that Italy.
Yeah. I like the convoy to Tuscany.
Why?
I just because I like it better than Rome. I mean I don't see a point for an army in Tunis to be there any further. I mean, where is it going to go? Is it going to North Africa? The only other place I could see it going is to Syria. But in this case now, you're set up quite well to move to support yourself into Piedmont next year, and also have a nice setup on the Gulf of Leon as well.
So, yeah, no, I like that. They take the Aegean, which Saren always talks about, as, the Aegean being so important. AI is looking very good here. I think the two headlines for me are the implosion of Turkey,
Yep.
losing Sevastopol, losing Bulgaria, and Russia retaining Romania. Austria is still getting a build. This is good news for anyone not named Turkey. But the other one is the misorder, which is inclined to happen in Speedboat and any diplomacy, but especially in Speedboat, with Belgium supporting North Sea to Belgium as opposed to Holland, which, by the way, didn't
Hmm.
need support. Uh, I don't know if North Sea was supposed to just support Belgium. Maybe, I don't know. Interesting. Could have retreated there, but maybe it's not a misorder, but appears to be.
Is Holland just sort of like a no-go zone for everybody? Because it seems like nobody
Usually, you
really
don't see Holland as the
they want
unoccupied
to support
territory,
it.
but Germany
But
picking up
yeah,
two.
yep, Germany picking up two, and of course, the position that Turkey put themselves in, attacking Russia early, uh, and giving them the Black Sea at the same time. It was unfortunately it seems like it was something short-sighted, that they may end up having to regret now.
I'm suddenly liking Germany's chances here a bit because England's getting weak, having lost the channel. Um, I assume they have to build a fleet in London.
Yep.
We shall
Except
see.
except been really friendly towards England the whole time. So I wonder, is this an EG? Well, I guess now that we see the results, it looks like an EG for sure.
Yeah, I'm not. I think G is cagey, being cagey. Hasn't
Yeah.
made any moves against anybody in the West. Unusual. Now the fleets are positioned. Germany may think St. Petersburg and Moscow are its territory.
Yep.
So I'm curious to know. I do this move sometimes, and it prolongs me as England, but certainly I don't gain from tempo. But convoying the army back could be a big deterrent to France right now,
Yep.
which can occur. So let's see how the spring goes. Nope, that didn't happen. But
Oh wow. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. I'm surprised that England didn't take the English Channel here.
yeah, correct. They had three units on
Yeah.
the English Channel. They
Yeah.
should have taken the English Channel. Instead, North Sea supported Belgium, which got cut by the English Channel fleet, meaning that the English army in Belgium's now destroyed. I think, frankly, Belgium should have been given up on and taking
Yeah.
the Channel. But, uh, to each his own.
Yep. Well, Ruhr's not a terrible place to be, but I guess we'll see here. Uh, as we can also see, you can see the southern attack, right? I mean, you can see now all of a sudden that Marseille becomes very vulnerable.
Well, Marseille can be taken, uh,
Yep.
and Italy's
Oh yeah.
gets
Yeah.
Italy gets, that was. You can see here, though. I think Germany definitely is trying to support England, right? With now
Yep.
the attempted cut into Burgundy. Uh, so I think we now know where Germany lies, and I don't think Austria, if Austria's playing right, will be too upset at Italy retreating into Greece from from the dislodgement in the Aegean. Austria picks up Romania here. Uh, I think I still like the AI.
Yep. Me too.
The
Me,
problem
me.
is in the mid game, one of the two tends to become greedy. But if they can avoid that, I think they're poised for good things. And with Germany, a little Central Powers thing going.
Yep. But I also think that Turkey did a great job defending there, to be able to hold on the previous season, to be able to take the Aegean Sea back and guess right, because I would have thought that Italy would have gone for Khan, and that Austria would have supported that. So really good guess on Turkey's part that really strengthens their position.
So I really, really like the fall of 1903. I like what Austria did here. I don't know if every Italian will accept this, but there is a trade-off now. Greece for Trieste, and Italy shouldn't be too disappointed since they took Marseille.
Yep. Yep. They're at 6, so that's a pretty good position to be in as Italy.
But we have the French uh, at this point. I'm sorry. We have the doing this during working hours is always a bit of a challenge, Riaz. Uh, we we have the French here moving towards Italy and sort of trying to signal to England that the war is off. I've taken Belgium and I'm happy.
Hmm.
I'm not sure it's going to work.
I don't think so, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's the fun of it.
Hilariously, Leon could have moved to Spain. Didn't need the support. But how would have Italy have known that? So, all right. But as we end fall of 1903 and go into the winter, we have Germany and Austria and Italy. The Central Powers looking very good.
Yep. This looks like a really nice spot for Austria, doesn't it?
I do like the Austrian position, and with a
Yeah.
fleet build here,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
gonna it's going to be difficult for Austria to lay off. But I would want more progress on Turkey before I thought about who my next victim would be.
I agree.
All right, and so does this Austria. This Austria agrees.
Yep.
What happened in
Uh,
Warsaw? Livonia supported it.
oh, Austria supported Ukraine as well. So it had two supports on it.
Ah, okay.
And Russia just said, "I'll give up St. Petersburg. I'll live with that and take Warsaw back."
I see that. So Austria is now sort of trying to become. Yeah, all right. Well, this is a reasonable play from Austria.
Yep. And if they can keep Turkey at 3 for a little bit, that's fine too, right? As long as Turkey doesn't get any further ahead, it's fine. It's reasonable. I think it's fine. They can whittle Turkey down over the next couple of years, as like you said, as long as they don't get too greedy.
Right. Yeah, and I assume Moscow's gone. I assume Livonia probably moves
Yep.
with English support. See no reason why that wouldn't happen. Um, and then, of
Depends
course,
on who
now. Go ahead.
depends on who England is.
You're right. Well, they seem to be working together here pretty well.
Yeah.
England getting supported into Belgium.
Yeah.
They do seem to have a bit of a mind meld here. The English and German players a bit, which is interesting. And Austria can't be too happy though with the situation in Turkey, which is going to be stalemated, especially with all these fleets moving west.
Yep. Yeah, but the position is pretty stable, right? And I think now Italy will have the luxury to in another season they'll have the luxury to move something back to continue their advancement.
Okay, well, let's look at the fall of 1904. What do you see?
Hmm. Yep, I see Italy. I see Italy moving back to clean stuff up. I see France taking back Marseille at the loss of Spain. I see Germany giving England a lot of space by moving everything away.
Yeah, but England's not
And
really helping them with that self bounce in Norway.
no, 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 that tells me I think I have a good idea of who England might be there, but
Who's your
uh,
guess?
but I think it's Kartik.
You think Karthik is the kind of player that'll take
I
advantage
think
but doesn't really want the ally to grow? I do.
yeah, yeah. There's no real benefit to him, right? For Germany to get Moscow,
Yeah, that's
but I could see that Arctic play.
and there's a lot of benefit to England now going up too.
Oh yeah, I mean, getting to six at this point is fantastic, especially with them being in the English Channel and having France, focus on Italy. I mean, there's so much play here for England, so many opportunities to go further ahead. Plus, Germany is pulling one, which is also great for England as well.
Yeah, Italy here loses Marseille, and
Yep.
I I see no other reason for the Romanian move into Ukraine is that signals the end of that fleet in Sevastopol in
I,
'05. All right, Germany's got to pull. They pull the fleet in Denmark. That's giving a lot of love to England
yep.
there. If it was me, I may have pulled Baltic, but England giving the love back with the fleet build in Liverpool.
Why wouldn't England, right? I mean, England's getting everything that they want. They're getting a lot of love from Germany. Why antagonize that? I mean, Germany's just pulled a fleet for you, so keep Germany at six and continue growing, and you're good. You're golden. You're about to get Brest or make a play or make a very strong play for it.
What do you do if you're Germany here with the armies in Silesia and Tyrolia, right? Which is, I might self bounce in Munich. I'm not sure what to do with them.
It's a really good question. I might I I don't see the value in continuing anything against Austria here. I think I think I'd move Ruhr down and then see what happens. I mean, you make yourself really vulnerable to England, like really really vulnerable. But I think Germany's made the decision that England is the one that they're going to work with. Come hell or high water.
All right. Let's see here.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Made the move for
Germany,
Vienna.
Germany pulled back.
Right.
Wow. And look at where France made it into. They're in the Caribbean Sea. All right. Well, now this is going to get interesting. This is going to get really interesting for Italy.
with the Raider behind the line,
Yep.
walk into Rome or Naples.
Yep.
Ooh. And they can, I think, if I'm not reading, no. They may or may not get Spain back.
Yep.
But man, uh, France still has problems with Paris, Brest, a lot to cover. Uh,
I think France just decided that they're going to make sure that if they're going down, that Italy's not the one who's going to benefit from it. And it's very dangerous if you're propping up England, because England in the mid game has the potential here to really run up a really strong score.
right. All right. Let's look at the fall.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Look,
well, there's lots
look
of stuff going on here. Uh, Italy gets back Marseille, but loses Spain. That's reasonable. But the big news is I don't think anyone cares much about propping up France.
no, no. I mean, France. I mean, England is in such a strong position now with the Mid Atlantic, with Brest and Paris. Uh, this is going to be, I think, a real challenge for the rest of the board.
Right. Although, if I'm Germany seeing England go up like this, I might take Belgium back.
I think they have to. I think they have to here, Ed, because you know England can run away with this game, and the whole point of Belgium typically in an EG is, isn't it more of a loan rather than anything else? And
Right.
because England just got Paris, which is typically German, so where's Germany's next build coming from?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it's coming from Vienna or Trieste or, you know.
No.
So, yeah, no, I mean, this looks like England's game, but, you know, there's a lot of game to play. What does England build here? I think they for sure build another fleet, and I think now you have to build an army. But they've had a really good balance.
Yep. I think you may need to build an army and try to convoy it into Scandinavia.
I think those builds are reasonable
Yeah.
by
Yep.
England. Uh, well, I think we got an interesting pivot point here with Germany having leverage on Italy a bit, the leverage on Austria, friendly with England. But man, I would love to be England right now.
Me too.
Let's see if Germany goes for Belgium or if he waits. Yeah,
Well, there's Italy getting into con, which is what I was expecting a couple of years ago. But I guess England bypassed by Iberia.
yeah, and that's not a bad move at all in my thinking. But I found the convoy back to Tuscany interesting. That's like giving up on the West.
Yep.
But Italy can retain it with a bounce from Gulf of Leon now in the fall. Germany signaling more moves towards England, I think, with these and away from Austria. But I don't know what's going to happen. What an interesting game. Who's your money on halfway through the first game?
I still think England, and I like the Austrian position too. What about you?
Hard not to like England, but I if Germany can somehow get a détente with Austria here. Uh, Germany needs another fleet, but is maybe going to get one with Belgium. I don't hate the German position.
Yeah, but I think that they need to build a whole bunch of fleets. If
Well, they do, but it's good news that the fleets that are being built seem to be going south.
Yep, and you know that this is one of the things that I didn't like. I didn't like the pull of the fleet earlier because I think now if you build a fleet, I mean, it signals England right away, right? When you already have two fleets, it early on, it's pretty normal, typical position for Germany. But when you start building fleets at this point, whether you had zero fleets or one fleets, when you build a fleet
It's only
against a
anti-England.
strong England, yeah, it can only be used for one reason.
Well, yeah, but I think that needs to be done to signal to the rest of the board if that's what Germany
Yeah,
wants to do. But Germany hasn't shown an inclination to do that.
yeah.
Germany, in fact, is supporting Norway into Sweden, signaling to England that there's no war and you should have just given me Belgium without being upset. But apparently, England's very upset about
Well,
that, taking a
I
Belgium,
don't,
which tells me that England is a very greedy player.
yeah. Why wouldn't they be?
Well,
It makes sense.
true.
You're trying to post a big score here. And you know what? One of the things I wanted to mention, but I didn't get a chance early on, is if you're going to top the board in this format, you want a really big score. You don't want to be like the 8 or 9 center board topper with such a minimal difference, and then the next round, because inevitably when you play the second game, if you top the board, you have a very strong chance of getting Turkey in game two. And Hey, look, Turkey's a great power in some games, but in Speedboat, it's just such a big challenge. So if you're going to top the board and you're going to inherit Turkey in game two, most likely, you better make sure it's worth it. You better make sure you're getting a big enough point spread between you and second place to offset it, to offset having to be Turkey in game two.
Yeah, no. I think Germany here probably needed to bounce in Sweden.
Yep.
Probably needed to anticipate that reaction by England.
No, definitely not.
Um, I think the double support of Belgium is reasonable, but Germany is still going to build, given that it retreated into Venice.
Yep. But Ed, how like if you're Germany here, how do you take this? Do you kind of go, because this is one of the things with Speedboat that's so tricky, is having 2 minutes really, to 2 or 3 minutes really, to connect to, gather your thoughts and think about what you want to do. As Germany here, I mean, you tried to be as friendly as you could to England. England's now attacking you, and really, you have two countries that are in such great spots in both England and in Austria, who are both going to benefit from this. Do you say, well, you know what, I'm just going to try to defend myself, or do you start saying, okay, well, I want Austria to get massive here. Like I just want to teach England a lesson and give everything to Austria. Like, how would you handle this?
I would hope. I would rely on Austria thinking that they could get gains in Russia, and
Yeah,
hope to delay it a bit. But I think you have to make the anti-English choice here. I think England overreacted. If
yeah, I
I was
agree.
Germany, I would say England overreacted.
Yeah, but there is sort of the other side of things too, right? Is we do have a game too. So if and you've seen this before, where I was Russia, and somebody threw the game to me towards the end, and now there was almost nothing to play for in game two. So I kind of equate it to the 2 minute drill in football, and you get into like a 3rd and 15 in a 4 down spot. Like, do you go for like a 10-yard play to be able to make a manageable 4th down, or do you go for the 15-yarder? It sort of feels like that here, is like, do you really prop up England, or sorry, Austria, to be so big that nobody's going to catch them, or do you try to find a way to make it so that both of them um, get something out of it? It's such a tricky spot for Germany here.
Well, let's see what Germany builds. Army. That's telling England, I'm not coming after you, but you are going to struggle to come after me.
Yeah, well, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose Denmark right away.
Denmark's gone. I mean,
Denmark.
Venice is probably gone, right? I think Austria here can take Venice.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, no. If I'm Austria, I'm actually thinking about not taking Venice, but I don't think most players would think that way.
Well, you and I think alike, and I like that, Ed, because I would probably say I need Italy to try to hold back the Med and keep England somewhat occupied. Are you thinking sort of along the same lines as well?
Correct.
Yeah.
I need Italy, but also kind of need Germany right now to occupy England. There's 6 game
Yep.
years for Austria to expand.
Yep. And Austria has two centers ready made for them whenever they want them.
Correct. And I think they're
Yeah.
going to take the Russian ones right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm thinking about England's play, right? Not going for Denmark, instead taking Holland. Could still take Denmark if they want to. Can they? Uh,
They
yeah,
they
yeah.
they would probably lose Holland. To me,
Correct.
to me, taking Denmark is more important, because then from there, all of a sudden, I have plays on the Baltic Sea, and then once I get into the Baltic Sea, then Germany is just that's sort of the end, beginning of the end for them, and I think Heligoland is a spot that I don't want to vacate, because it touches so many different valuable spots for England, that I feel like if they were going to do this, that maybe moving the North Sea into Holland would have been the better play.
I think I would have just gone for Denmark, but as
Yeah.
well. But maybe the thought is to take losing Burgundy's not great for England. I think the thought was maybe they could have Holland and Belgium. But maybe I'm
Yep.
wrong. I don't know. It's hard to say. You don't know what someone's thinking, especially in Speedboat. We'll
Yep.
go on to the fall.
Agreed.
And England did get Belgium, but they ended up losing Holland and they got Denmark. So, all in all, reasonable.
Yep. Excellent outcome for England here. And I'm surprised that Germany lost not only lost Holland but decided to go after the Italian center in Marseille over taking over protecting Belgium.
Correct. That is a little. I don't even think England expected that because
No, no.
I mean, a simple move of Burgundy to Belgium would have saved Belgium. I'm not.
Yep.
Did lose Venice, got Marseille, lost Denmark. I think. I mean, there are 5 center changes there. I can't. Germany's down. I think it's just one. I'm not 100% on that. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's 2. I don't know.
Well, they lost Venice, broke even, so they lost 2. I believe it's down 2.
2. Correct. Denmark and Belgium. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. But again, how does this benefit? How does this benefit anybody other than England? Germany's play here. You've just weakened. You've just weakened Italy. So I don't see why Germany's playing this way.
Well, nobody understands Odysseus' hand. All right. Let's see here. England building armies now. I find that very curious given that France is in Portugal. But
Yep.
did build an English channel, but there's going to be I mean, it would be annoying, but something that England can handle. This is a nice
I
10 for
think they'll be.
England, but I still really like Austria here. They're probably going to take Warsaw, although I'm sure England will be supporting Moscow.
Did you notice the fleet build in Trieste?
No, I missed that, but I think that's
Yeah.
necessary.
It's always I always love as Austria getting to a position where I can build fleets. It's like such a fun position to be in and such a secure position to be in.
All right, let's hit
So
the spring. I have to speed it up, unfortunately, Riaz, a bit.
no worries, no worries.
All right. Well, Austria is definitely going to take Moscow.
All right.
Fall. England here taking Tunis. The French fleet does come out, giving it some options, and France gets into Marseille.
And also Holland is lost, and not only is it lost, the army's gone. It's destroyed.
Oh yeah.
So we may not see much of Germany for the remainder of this game. I think it's going to go pretty quick.
With non-contiguous units and a determined enemy, that's not. But Austria's got a lot of growth opportunities here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm assuming Italy's going to be mostly disbanding towards England.
Yep.
As we move into the fall, Austria takes Moscow with 1.
Wow. Not only that, but they ended up taking Caen.
And they took Caen.
Yeah.
And they nicely supported Moscow into St. Petersburg. Good guess that
Absolutely.
was going to happen. And France can't build, but does pick up 1 with the southbound.
And looks like England outguessed themselves and gave Belgium back, or sorry, gave Holland back.
Correct. To cover. I mean, yeah, the thinking was got to cover Belgium, got to cover Paris, but that was a good guess by Germany to go for Holland and get it back.
Mm-hmm.
But still bad news for Germany because they're going down another 1 to France.
Yep.
Oh, but with Germany gone, well, we should see. I mean, it's a tight race here between Austria and England, but Austria has bumped up, builds another fleet.
Wow, wow! I really like the position for Austria. What about you?
Hard to argue against it,
Wow.
especially with. I mean, anytime Austria wants, first of all, I think Austria's going to take the black here, and that will be lights out for Turkey, and then can have Greece whenever it wants.
Yep.
Yeah, no. So it's kind of a race, but it. But I'm going to think that Germany and France will work together here, and hold off. I think Austria probably
Well,
can make it. All right,
well,
here we go in
Eng-
spring 1909.
okay, so Paris swapped for Holland here, and again, the army in Holland is destroyed. So, this is not good. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose Kiel in the fall.
It's certainly not good for Germany. I think this
No.
was a reasonable move for England to make. Um, I think France here probably did the right thing with the self bounce, but could have been maybe a tad more. Well, yeah, they would have lost Manoli. I think that's a good play. But Austria does take the black, gets into Armenia, loses Constantinople, but that's temporary, uh, and may end up taking Greece this time around.
Wow.
Quite a race we have here going. Let's see how the
Yep.
fall turns out.
Okay, so Austria lost one in Turkey. That's very dangerous. Giving Turkey a build, but their position is so strong there that it's just a matter of time before Turkey dies there. I think.
I think Austria did not think that Rome would move to Venice. Did and probably played it too cleverly by not taking Constantinople back, playing for position, because now is down two, if I'm reading it correctly.
Yep.
But
And
given this,
they
I think Bohemia and Livonia will be what Austria disbands.
and well, it's not only that, Ed, but also if you take a look there, I mean, they now have they were at a point where they had Italy on side, and Italy was their friend, and they really had no enemy. But now all of a sudden, there's resistance in Italy, there's resistance in Turkey. So perhaps that pendulum has shifted a little bit.
But in other news, France takes Brest.
Yep.
So the minor powers are certainly reacting and playing the balance of power between these two.
Which is what they should be doing, right?
Yeah, and it's admirable. I like it. Okay. Oh, disbands Ionian. Only one disband. I must have missed something along the way there. But oh, giving Turkey that extra build. Oh, I mean they can take Ankara.
Well, Khan is there for the taking. There's no way for them to defend it if they use Armenia on Ankara and
Syria to Smyrna.
Syria to Smyrna. So chances are Turkey's going to lose two this year. Small setback.
Yeah. Meanwhile, England with 5 armies on the European continent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, Brest is going to be gone. These are all temporary setbacks for England. Oh, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's been very entertaining. We have our answer from England. I think England will get Paris back, get
Yep.
Portugal back, and keep it. Covers Tunisia, which is good. I think this looks like and moves into the Ruhr. Hard to argue with this set of moves for England.
I agree. And they've set themselves up so nicely positionally. All that's missing is a fleet in the Baltic. That's really all that's missing in my mind.
I wouldn't call it a complete disaster, but it is a disaster with what happened to Austria here having Armenia dislodged.
Yep. I mean, it is a setback, but I mean they're about to take two from Turkey.
That's right.
So unless Turkey really guesses right or Austria really guesses terribly, Turkey's going to be pulling this turn. And you have a couple of years here with nothing threatening you in the south at this point as Austria.
Right. All right, moving on to the fall here. Let's see if I'm reading this correctly. Austria got Ankara and back into Armenia and took Khan on a retreat. So that was great for Austria.
Yep. +2. Bye, Turkey. Unfortunately, in these games, you may not win the tournament in game one, but getting eliminated pretty much, or getting eliminated in game one pretty much kills your chances of winning. It becomes almost impossible to win unless you solo. With
Right, and but England's +2 as well. So we are making it exciting. 2 fleets. I think that's right.
briefly,
3, but three. There must have been a rebuild.
yeah,
England ahead by 2. What a great game. Turkey's definitely going to take Smyrna. Can they get anything else?
maybe Greece eventually.
Yeah, maybe.
Other than that, it's going to be really difficult. Whereas, you can see Spain, Marseille, probably Berlin next year, all falling to England.
There's Spain,
Yep.
which also means Marseille is going to go. Yeah, that's a complete
Yep.
wrap up there.
Especially because France's army got destroyed. So
I don't know if I like the Austrian play. I like getting into Albania for sure, but the moving to Bohemia, I think that puts play. Does it put play? No, because Albania has to retreat to Greece. Okay, good set of
Yep.
moves.
Yep.
All right. So, but I don't see how England is going to not. Oh, there goes Trieste. Austria didn't support it. Decided to take Greece instead.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
But a
Wow,
fleet goes in. So it's not bad, not awful.
Yep. And Turkey is no longer in the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, Turkey's gone, and Russia's about to be gone in 1912. For sure will be eliminated, and France, my guess, will be gone at the end of 1912.
Yep.
And maybe Germany? I don't know. Got a lot of issues.
I don't think he survives.
I think Germany stays on 1. 2 maybe, if they're lucky. All right. Well, look, 14-12. Here we go. Last year.
Yep.
England takes Marseille. England takes Kiel. England takes St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg.
England at 17.
And I think that's probably how this is going to end. With this monster England.
A monster England and all the Austrian units being forced to support Munich.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and Austria will get to 13. We shall see.
Although England might lose Tunis.
Look at this. Look at that greedy Austrian. Wow.
That's the speedboat we love, Ed. Come on, that's the speedboat that we love. Taking that last dot from the German.
Eliminating Germany. Taking Trieste.
Yeah.
Getting to 14.
Yeah.
And there we go. Well, it wasn't AI. The AI matched England.
A big A, little I.
A big A and little I.
You got it.
If we can do the next game in 30 minutes, I can do it. Otherwise, we'll have to record game two separately. What would you like to do?
Let's go fast.
Let's go fast. Go to game two.
Go fast.
Go to game two. We don't know
Okay.
who's playing who. What do we see in
Nope.
01 of interest to you?
In O one, I see the bounce in the channel. I don't really see anything else that's the Italian moves. Moving to Tyrolia and Venice is pretty aggressive.
Very aggressive, and also Turkey taking the black.
Yep.
So this is interesting. Let's see what happens in the fall. Austria didn't trust Italy there. Uh, gets their two, gets
Yep.
Tunis, and then Turkey here going to Armenia after taking the black cannot be well liked by Russia.
Well, I mean, I think the strategy here for Turkey in this game is Turkey was most likely the English player in the first game and has such a big score that a survival probably does a trick, and they're probably thinking, well, maybe going through Russia to secure my survival is exactly what I need.
Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody loves Munich. They all want to be in Munich.
Yep.
But we definitely. I mean, again, here we're. I'd be curious to see how this EF works. It typically is England. I don't like this split play. I hate moving to the channel. I hate this. I don't. But I understand it. I know it's part of the meta here in Speedboat. Fleet build in Brest is exactly what England got for taking the channel there. I think it would have been different. England's trying to back off by building the fleet in Edinburgh, but I'm not sure France got the message.
Yep. Nope. Definitely didn't get the message.
All right, spring of 1902, England essentially ceding English Channel, telling,
Channel.
yeah. Oddly enough, France cut its own support into Belgium. Not It'd be hard to anticipate that would have been England's move, but that is what happened. Uh, you know, uh, and Russia getting units back in position here.
Yep. Which is part of the problem is, and I'll be quick, but Russia putting a fleet in Romania, it never that strong a play unless you're going to build another fleet in Sevastopol. I don't see the benefit to it to Russia. This is better.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm with you. There's almost no reason for Russia not to go to the black in spring 1901.
Mm-hmm.
That Turkey, I still go to the black, always in face to face or virtual, but well, not always, but most of the time. But there's an argument to get to con of it, for an AI coming. But all right, move to the fall here of 1902. This time, France does take Belgium again with English support, I guess. England, yep, with English support. So England is telling France, "I'm with you." Meanwhile, moves the fleet to Barents. Very, couldn't have signaled better. And Germany takes Sweden.
I don't like this as England because I feel like St. Petersburg ends up this sort of dead end, and you have 4 units and you've committed 50% of them towards a single center that puts you out of position. It's not my favorite play. I know some people really like it. It just feels odd to me, especially when you've also antagonized Germany there by trying to take Sweden.
The odds are this play does not work in the long run.
No.
Moving to Barents does have merit typically in the mid game, but not now.
Yep.
Especially when you don't really know what's going on with France yet. We we know that England's tried to curry favor, but we don't know that France cares.
Yep.
Oh
Well, now it looks like France cares.
what's the point of building an army in Brest? Help me out. Because in my mind, if I was England and I saw this, I would say this is just a sneaky way to convoy to Wales.
Yeah, I can't argue with you, Ed. I agree with you completely.
Uh, if I'm England here, I probably dislodge a channel. To, but you
But
know,
he gets into London then, right? He can retreat to London. I guess he could
yeah, you
get
can retreat to London and for it to succeed, Denmark would have to move the North Sea. This is why in Speedboat you have to figure this out really quickly.
I agree.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so Germany's three fleets. I mean, we know where Germany's going, right?
we know where Germany's going. Germany's going to England. Um,
Yep.
no question about it. And Germany took Norway, right? Or no? What did Sweden? No, it bounced. Bounced with Barents.
Bounce. Yeah, bounce with Barents. I guess the other thing we need to look at here is it looks like Turkey is in a pretty reasonable position now because France is, or sorry, Italy has committed quite a few out west, whereas normally Italy would send two fleets out east to take care of Turkey. And it's a little bit of peculiar play on my end or from my judgment because to me, I'm thinking that the England who got 17 centers in game one is probably Turkey in game two. So if we don't eliminate them, they're probably going to win the tournament.
That's a reasonable guess. Or Russia. But
Yeah.
uh, all right. Well, this is interesting how it's playing out. Man, this Italian player is hard to crack with what he decides to do on any given level.
Yeah.
France forced to defend Marseille. Italy goes to Western Med to cover. Presumably, he thought Mid Atlantic might move there, but gets
Mm-hmm.
into the Aegean. The AI is back on, I think, except for the move to Tyrolia. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. It's all over the place. It's fun to watch though. I mean, it's fun to watch when you're stuff in that from an perspective. I like.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by the Turkish decision to disband. Think the hope is to rebuild it as an army. I guess he's going to move to Khan and Smyrna.
Well, it's an opportunity to kind of collect your thoughts and not commit to anything, and you're going to be rebuilding it anyway. So if you wanted to retreat your fleet to Khan, you can still build a fleet in Khan, but you now have 5 minutes to think about it rather than 1 minute to think about it.
Right, but it's going to be. I mean, Turkey's going to lose Bulgaria, Khan, or Smyrna. One of them.
What do you do here as Turkey? Do you build an army? Do you build a fleet?
If it is as you suggest, I three army Turkey is hard to beat. But I don't think they're going to have three armies unless somehow Black can get disbanded. So.
Yeah, I would be awfully tempted.
Oh, you know what? I didn't realize it was a fall move. I did not realize it was a fall move.
Yep,
I feel
yep.
like an idiot now. Okay. All right. Okay.
I would have built an army if I was Turkey there. I would have built an army. I would have just told Italy, you know what? Your gains are coming through Turkey. It's going to take you an awfully long time to get there.
Yeah. And it's still going to be difficult because the Italian armies are adjacent to Austria as opposed to getting ready for a convoy.
Yep.
And if I'm Italy, I'm getting frustrated here a bit. So, who's Italy going to assist into Bulgaria? I don't think Italy's going to get Bulgaria. Uh,
Yeah.
Italy just goes back. Okay, I see that.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, we know Italy's game right now.
Well, and as Austria, eventually you got to get tired of that, right? If
I
I'm
think they
Austria,
did. I think the supported move into Trieste is exactly that.
yeah. I mean, I'd be tired of. Okay, well, do you want to get rid of Turkey? If you want to do it, let's do it. If you don't, I'm going to take you out because you have no value to me.
Yeah, the Italian play is driving all these little machinations. Oh, okay, all right. We'll go to the fall. Nothing. By the way, I did bury the headline of England taking Sweden, but Germany got it back. But Germany just sort of turtling up, right now. This is a curious set of moves.
This, this, this is good for like Russia because with Germany now all of a sudden, I was going to say that all of a sudden Russia to the Baltic Sea. So I don't know. It feels like a chaotic. I mean, now Italy's moving to Silesia. Are they going Russia next? Like, what's the deal there?
Italy's going to try and snag Berlin, I think, or support Russia into Berlin. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
There were no retreats or builds. There was nothing that happened at the end of fall 1904. So we move right into the spring.
Yep. Uh, Donnie, oh, look, we lost Denmark and Sweden.
That's really bad.
Yep.
That is
It's
that's really bad. It's also kind of bad for Russia here.
yep. They lost Sev. They lost Rum. And now all of a sudden, Turkey's position is just so much stronger. It's just going to be so difficult now to knock Turkey down.
Yes. Yeah. No. This is if Turkey was England in the last game, you are correct. I keep
Yeah.
getting drawn to Turkey. Right. I keep looking there. It's just fantastic. They're going to build. I assume they're going to. What do you build here? I mean, you got a lot of armies, but in Austria, but I don't know what to do if I'm Turkey.
Well, I build another army.
I think so
Because
too.
take a look what Italy just did. They just snagged Trieste.
Yeah.
And on top of that, um, Austria didn't get Romania. So Austria's actually disbanded.
Austria moved to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So they're actually pulling one. So now Turkey's at 5 and Austria's at 4. And if I'm Austria, I'm probably
I'm
really
done
ticked
with
off
Italy.
with Italy. Yeah, I'm really ticked off with Italy.
I think Turkey's loving life.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, France does make the move on Germany, taking Ruhr. Will take
Yep.
Munich. Uh, oh, yeah. This is a good
Do you think this is the
TF.
right? Do you think this is the right play though for France? Do you think this is the right way to go for France? I don't know.
Uh,
I'd be tempted to keep my fleets up north. I feel like the big score for France is not going to come from a couple of Italian centers. It's gonna come from something against England rather than Germany.
well, we should see if England. I'd be mighty. I mean, declared war against Germany, so I don't think you can go to the channel right now. But
No.
if France does snag Munich, I think Fleet and Brest might
Yep.
be the way to go. Italy builds another fleet. What is he telling Austria with that fleet build? Oh my God! I mean,
But in Rome, it's stuck because like you can't move it anywhere. Like where are you going to move that fleet? If it's in Naples, you can move it to help with Tunis eventually, or do something. But from Rome, it becomes very difficult.
all right, here we go in spring 1906. France and Italy trying to get it together and show peace. I'm thinking Austria might think about taking Trieste back now, but who knows? France takes Holland, does not take Munich, which makes sense.
Yep.
German army destroyed.
Yep.
Very interesting. I think the most interesting thing is what will France do with the fleets now in the south, and what will they build?
Well, they signaled the support of the Tyrrhenian Sea, so they. I guess it depends on what happens in the fall because we got to see if England's pulling one.
I'm willing to bet France moves North Africa to Mid Atlantic here. No, just
No. Oh wow. I guess committed to taking everything from Germany.
Yeah, they are content. Okay.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Turkey doing just fine. Austria still can't take Romania. Is kind and doesn't do anything about Trieste. And you have to think the French army in Tyrolia is an anti-Munich play,
Yeah, I
but
think so.
one never knows.
Yep.
Fleet build Marseille. That is telling Italy, I'm coming after you.
Mm.
Not in Brest. England's got to feel good. Kind of weakened, but going to be able to. Yeah, no. France is looking good on the game. Whether good on the tournament, different question.
Yeah,
But that army in Tyrolia is going to cause a lot of little issues, I think, unless people just view it as anti-Munich. Uh, takes Munich anyways. This is this is
it's
good play by
gonna,
France.
gonna be France. And Russia supported, or I guess this time Turkey just took Romania.
Turkey took Romania with Russian support. I in that
Yeah,
situation, if I'm Russia, I'm now going to take Sevastopol. It'll be curious to see if if Turkey defends it or not. Because there's a defense, right? I mean, my guess is Russia puts two on Sevastopol, and Germany could move the army back and hope to bounce and keep Romania.
agree, agree.
So we'll see tactically what happens there. So yeah, this is good. It's actually,
I, I, I think if I'm Turkey here, I probably let Russia take Sevastopol. I move Romania to Serbia, and then take Greece and advance my armies out.
yeah, no, I like that idea. Okay, so we're basically halfway through, and we've got France, we've got Turkey here. Do you see anybody else that you're liking?
Not really. Those are the two that I like at this
Me
point.
neither. All right,
Yeah,
we'll move on. Oh, look at you, Turkey, listening to Riaz.
smart, smart. It's the right play. It's get those armies out. Take Serbia next year.
Meanwhile, England makes a bold play, taking Denmark and Sweden and Barents, and obviously wanting that Russian army there. May not get it because there will be a build in Moscow, but gives up the North Sea for such an endeavor.
I think it'll be safe, Ed, because if I'm
Two
Germany,
bills.
yeah, and I try to hold on to Berlin if I'm Germany, just because it's a key spot on the board, and they'll get punched out of North Sea anyways.
That's true.
But England really
Uh,
likes sea. I can tell you that.
all right. Winter, look, went with the Ed Sullivan option. Keep the Raider, tie up 5 units for a season. Um,
Hmm.
but this will be interesting. I mean, uh,
Who do you like here? I mean, we got 5 game years left, and maybe we just talk real quick. Who do you like here to top this board? Do you like France? Do you like Turkey, or somebody else?
I think France is +2. I don't like the fleet build. Well, I understand the fleet build. I got to go with Turkey, even though they're down uh, 2 to France. I think
Me,
they've got a Russian ally and a lot of uh, weakly defended supply centers in front of them.
I agree. I agree. Serbia is going to fall, and then Trieste probably next year.
And control of the black, right? So, I mean,
Yep, there we go. I guess Austria seems to have given up on any anti-Turkish.
yeah, Austria vacated Serbia. I mean, I might
Yep.
too, right? I might be like,
Yep.
look, Italy ruined my game. I don't care. I'm just going after green dots.
Yeah.
Turkey, take as many red dots behind me as you want. Just let me fight green dots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And Turkey's quietly signaled to Russia to take Romania.
which I love, by the way.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
5
Me too.
full game years left to play. It's a fantastic move. Uh, yeah, no. So we'll just watch the race sort of develop here. But Turkey changed his mind about Romania. That never happens.
Nope.
And we'll take Sevastopol in '09.
Yep, and we bid farewell here to our German player who I guess decided that they didn't want to even try for a supply center and just retire in Clyde.
We'll go to Clyde. We're gonna hang out in Clyde. Well, stranger things have happened, right? You know,
Yeah.
the ghost ship of Germany has departed in the rural part of Scotland. All right, and so you know the race on the game still very tight. Uh, I, this is such interesting to watch these two race again. It's a second race. If Turkey
Yep.
is, as we're guessing, Karthik got to be loving the tournament spot, and we'll
Yep.
know if Turkey was somebody in the lead before. By the way, they may turtle up and play defense a bit um, if necessary.
Yep. And
Meanwhile, France,
England's position
yeah,
looks really
England
nice.
made a move on France, but France figured it out.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, England's position looks really good right now against France.
Being, yeah, you're most certainly correct. That could be the difference maker, right? If now that England's fighting France a bit, that could be just what Turkey needed to win.
Yeah.
Let's see here as we go into the fall. Well, France did get Berlin, but gave up Kiel to do so.
Yeah. And and England keeps marching west with their fleets or sailing west.
Yes, yes.
And I think France's ability to expand has just been killed. They're going to have to play defense for the next couple of years and get
Right.
locked in against England, like you were mentioning before, which is huge advantage to Turkey.
Huge advantage, right? Huge,
Yeah.
and also England just doesn't have the firepower, right? Without with two armies, none on the continent, uh,
Hmm.
they can tie down France with those fleets. So maybe France
Yep.
doesn't lose a lot, but France is really tied up.
Well, France is they can easily lose Holland now too. So it just it looks like they'll be able to hold off England, but they're I can't see them getting past 9.
Meanwhile, Turkey just advances up, does lose the Ionian, which should be manageable, but I think Sevastopol's gone here, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm counting correctly. Maybe.
Yeah, and Warsaw as well.
Yeah,
And
it's a
those
tough
those
position for.
those Turkish armies are just getting into such great position. I mean, they've got 2 game years. If it's the person who finished who was England in game one, I think they've probably locked this up.
All right. Yeah, and goodbye Holland for fun.
Hmm.
In the fall, but Holland comes back.
Oh, they just switch back and forth.
But also, France keeps Kiel.
Hmm.
So there
Oh,
will
do they?
be. I think I'm reading that right. So there's a England
Yeah,
lost Kiel.
you're correct. They gain one, but they now have a southern border or a southern flank or a southern front to worry about as well.
Yeah,
Because
Italy's back.
yep, and Turkey's probably just saying, all right, let's just keep bouncing Ionian and the Aegean. I really don't need any Italian dots. Just go after France. Just stay around in the Ionian, and we're good.
All right. So while France looks +2, oh boy.
Wait.
Turkey and Warsaw, Ukraine, Sevastopol. Turkey will get their two back this time around,
Yeah.
and they might get three back. Uh, I don't know if they'll get three, but
Two
that's
for
interesting.
sure.
Yeah. And then England takes Holland, but France takes Denmark
And that's trouble for England.
big time. And France takes the English Channel,
Yep.
but it but loses Spain as was predictable because it was guaranteed.
Yep.
So, well, was it
And
guaranteed?
Austria
Yeah.
decided to just go after all the Italian dots at this point.
Yeah. Austria's just playing
So,
for fun. Here we go into the fall. Three dots for Turkey.
oh, two, two. They lost
Oh, they
Warsaw,
lost Warsaw. They lost Warsaw.
but they retreat to Silesia, which is a great spot to be in, right?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we say goodbye. We don't say goodbye to Russia, but we only have one unit left. Looking really good for Turkey here. I'm trying to see what happened in England. France do the dot switching. Uh, France took Holland. They had it, but they got it back. They lost
Yep.
Berlin. They picked up Denmark. So France will get one. Am I? Oh, but they lost Spain, so they're flat. Okay, Turkey's caught up.
Yep.
Final year. Oh no, they're ahead one. Maybe I should do math. It's hard on the fly. Okay, but Turkey is the board leader right now.
Oh, they lost Berlin last turn
Oh, that's right.
to that English fleet. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see.
That's Turkey's game. I mean, how are you going to stop this? Like you got 1 year. There's no. I don't see anybody else board topping. What about you?
No, I don't see how France. I mean, France can take Spain, lose Marseille. I don't think France can really reasonably take any other English dots. Everything else has to be defended. I think the game should draw, frankly. But here we go. Turkey will take Warsaw at the end. They'll get two. England took
Yep.
Denmark. England kept Spain. I don't know what Italy's doing, frankly. It's 1912. These moves make no sense. Um,
I think Italy's just saying, you know what, Austria, I'm making sure that you don't get anything more off of me.
yeah,
I don't
that's probably true. Yeah.
care what happens with Turkey. They can come after stuff, but you're getting nothing.
Yeah, maybe Austria should have moved to Rome. That'd be funny. Um, all right, fall 1912. Turkey got Warsaw but lost Moscow.
Hmm.
Turkey board tops. What is the final? 10 dots. 11 to 10. Turkey wins.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, is it
That that
time?
was that was really well done by Turkey when in these finals. Ed, I'm sure you'll agree that I'm not used to seeing a Turkey top a board in a finals. I've never seen it, so this is really really well done by whomever was Turkey.
Okay, well, I have this information. I've not looked at it, and I'm going to quickly with that Austria England move. Austria was Pixie. England was CBC BM.
Oh wow, well done. What was the point spread? I'm because I'm reading it off my phone. I can't quite tell the difference between England and Austria. Oh, it's 15 points.
15 points.
Okay.
Well, that's open
Okay.
tribute without a solo, right? So
Yeah.
then we move into the second game. Austria was Karthik. England was Liam. France was Superstition. Germany was Dave. Italy, Audacious Hand, which explains what
Uh,
everything.
I I think Turkey wins.
And then Pixie there.
Pixie wins.
We're going to find out in a second. So these were the point totals. And then I guess I have to do
Oh
Pixie
no, yeah, it's right there. Pixie's the win.
64. Two-time winner.
Awesome.
Two-time winner. Pixie, again, congratulations. I guess you did deserve that wild card spot. You showed these other players how to do it as Turkey. Who did you play in game one, Pixie? If I can read this
Au-
correct.
Austria?
Austria. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like to pull off that kind of performance as Turkey is just it's really impressive.
That was
And really well
fantastic.
done. And Pixie's been at this for a little while, and it's awesome. Like it's really really well done. He deserves it. He always plays really well. Uh, and uh, phenomenal job. Like really really well done.
Good job, Pixie. Proud of you. And thank you, Riaz, for correcting my mistakes and having a very enjoyable broadcast. And we will broadcast this shortly on a station near you. Thanks so much.
Well, Ed, before we finish, this is the first time we've had a conversation about a game, and I've never gotten upset with you.
We didn't argue. What happened? I think we
I don't.
think about the game similarly, but we both are very selfish. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, but
Sounds
not
good.
as selfish as some of these players,
Yeah.
and not as crazy as Audacious Hand, who, by the
Yeah.
way, had to have played Germany in game one. Let me see. Yes, of course. Okay. All right. Thanks so much,
All right.
Riaz. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thanks, Ed. You too.